It's another video for the Evo X throwout bearing clutch fork. Changing the throwout bearing. I already took the old one out and put the new one in. New one's already installed. You want to make sure you do this first, because if not, you won't be able to get that throwout bearing in. Once that pin and everything is in and those springs are loaded, you can't get it in. So pretty simple. I lubricated the pin top to bottom. Went ahead and used some of this stuff, all purpose, and started from the bottom. The pin, worked it through the hole. Same thing with the hammer. I used a shorter extension just because I'm not going to the top. I don't have to go as far distance. It's not as far, so I went ahead and used a shorter extension. Same thing, put it in there and started tapping it through to get it in. Didn't have to hit it very hard. It should go in pretty easy, especially if it's lubricated. And if it starts binding up on you, then don't force it, because you'll end up causing problems. But I went with the springs. This is very important with the springs. It's kind of hard to see. Let me get my light real quick. Right there. These springs, you want to make sure that they're positioned in this way, so that it has something to give it pressure. You see it right there. And then you tuck it right underneath that tab right there, and the same thing on the top, but it's just in opposition. That way that the clutch fork has pressure. And then once you're done doing all that, and then you gotta get this into position where it needs to be, the pin, and then there's gonna be a 10mm bolt that goes in here. And you're gonna have to line it up and put the 10mm bolt in there. Try not to cross thread it, because it can happen. Just make sure you line it up good. If you have to, what I did is I stuck a screwdriver in there, not too hard though, you don't want to ruin the threads, and I used it to line it up. Just wiggled it around so that it was in position. And I put the 10mm bolt in there, tightened it up. You don't want to over torque that bolt either, because it will snap pretty easy. It's a pretty small bolt. When you do it, you want to grab your ratchet like this from the neck. That way you're not giving it too much leverage. Because if you're from right here, it's too much leverage and you don't really feel how much pressure you're putting. You do that, you can end up snapping it real easy. Do it like this, you're less likely to, and you can feel it. And then yeah, once you do all that, you should be good to go. And then just check to make sure it functions right. It's like this one. This one's good. The springs, it has pressure, it's loaded. And then of course, when you go to put the transmission back in, you're going to want to lubricate this as well, the shaft. And that's all there is to it. It's pretty simple.